Today I'm at Goddard's in York, an arts and crafts garden created by the Terry family of Terry's chocolate fame. At the heart of the garden is a lovely original glasshouse where senior gardener Tom Longridge takes cuttings, sows seeds, grows exotic plants and tomatoes, cucumbers and grapevines. Today he's going to show us how he takes cuttings from the pelargoniums he grows here. Hiya Tom.
Hi Becky.
So this is the original glasshouse.
It is, yes. We're lucky to have this glasshouse still in one piece. It was built in the early 1930s by Richardson's of Darlington, and it's been up and down. It's certainly been at a phase where it was quite dilapidated and the National Trust restored it. And now I'm lucky enough to have this space to work in, and we use it in a slightly different way. This front section we use as a sort of ornamental display to show our visitors the kinds of plants, different plants from around the world that you can grow. And then further back it's more of a practical space where we're raising cuttings, we're growing on early fruit and veg and things like that.
And you keep them slightly different temperatures, don't you?
Certainly over the winter we can close off that space and we run a little heater just to make sure it stays frost free over the winter.
Okay, and whereas this area, is this not heated at all?
Not at all, no.
Yes, you've got a lovely range of plants on display here. And this is one of the most common ones that lots of people recognise and probably grow.
So This is a pelargonium. It's one that we would like to take some cuttings from to ensure we have some new stock for next year.
So show me how you'd go about taking a cutting.
Okay, well, first of all you want to select your cutting material. And so this is a nice healthy green shoot, and I want to take about 10 to 15 centimetres of cutting material, and what I do is I cut it just above a leaf node.
And that's just so that there's no stump really left.
So there's no stalk left, so just like that. And that's the cutting that we can go and prepare.
Excellent.
Potting up. Okay,
so that's your cutting material. So now we pot them up?
That's it. We'll take them through to the other part of the greenhouse and get them potted up.
Okay, so do you just use normal potting compost?
I do. The main thing is you want something which is nice and free draining, so you can add a bit of grit or perlite if you have it. But as long as it's a good free draining compost, that's fine.
Great, okay. And you're doing them all in one large pot, are you? Which is really practical.
Yes, I would tend to do 5 or 6 in one pot. It is easier and more efficient that way. Yeah. So first thing I'm going to do is just fill up my flower pot here with some good peat-free compost. The next thing is to water that so it's nice and moist for the new cuttings.
Okay.
Right, so this is our cutting material, and the first thing to do is to strip away some of these lower leaves, which you can do with a sharp knife, or they do just sort of pull off quite easily. Because we're going to sink this into the compost, we don't want the leaves sort of below the level of the compost. And also quite often pinch out the growing tip in case it develops into a sort of flower bud, which you don't want. One more thing to do, we just need to trim it off below one of these leaf nodes, and that's where all the hormones are concentrated, which will make the roots. So sharp clean secateurs, just a snip below there, and that's now ready to go into the compost. We tend to insert them into the edge of the pot. It helps a good root system develop and keeps them well drained. So you just insert them up to those first leaves, just firm them in a little bit, and there it is.
And so how long do you think it is before they'll have developed roots and need potting up individually?
I would normally think about 6 to 8 weeks for pelargoniums to develop a decent root system, and then you could start potting them up to their individual pots and grow them on from there. So as long as you keep them frost free, they should be fine and be in good condition for next spring.
Great. National Trust gardens can be great sources of inspiration, and our gardeners and volunteers are always happy to talk. So why not come and visit one of our places or get the National Trust School of Gardening from our shop?